This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, good morning to all. So let's try to understand more about Snowflake. We already got some how to get your Snowflake account. So I know there are some few new people also joined today's session. So I will help you to understand how to get the Snowflake account and how to access the Snowflake. So basically in last session, we got some idea about what is Snowflake and what are the different competitors with Snowflake. And we got some idea about how it is different from other cloud services. What are the different features in Snowflake? So now we are going to understand, like, we got Snowflake account. See, this is the Snowflake account. We are able to get access. So how many of you don't have Snowflake account so far? Can you please speak in chat window so that I can understand? So everybody have Snowflake account? Everybody able to see the screen in your computer? Anyone don't have Snowflake account? Okay, yeah, Harsha, I will help you how to get this. So what about Channa Keshava and Guru Dikshit having Harsha? Harsha don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, Power.
So it's me, Lavanya, on the name of Pavan Kalyan.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, Sudhakar, I think you are all joined in last session, right? Except Harsha, everyone, one or two. I'll help you later. Okay. So in last session, I gave few information like how to create the database and how to create the table, how to insert data into your first database and first table. So everybody able to get this table in your account? Anyone having any challenges to create database, to create table, and you can see the data in the Snowflake? Everybody able to see or not? So once you click on the select star from table, we can able to see some data in your account. This is what the expectation. So anyone having any challenge, please let me know. So this is very, very important first step. Everybody should get idea.
Excuse me.
Yeah, please.
Suresh, I'm Sri Pramada. So I have created the database, but
Hmm.
after that, I don't know why it is saying like when I'm trying to copy the table into it, it is saying the database doesn't exist.
Okay. So you are trying to insert data into table database. That's what you are doing.
I'm creating the table. I mean, you said something in the class 2 of the video. So in SQL. So
Hmm.
I tried to copy the EMP table into this one, into the database. As soon as
Okay.
I'm copying and I'm trying to do it, run it,
Hmm.
it's saying like
Hmm.
the database doesn't exist and you can't do this, run this table here.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So you just check you have in your, this is called worksheet, what where you are typing all the commands. So just check settings for your worksheet is same. So database you created with some settings, and the table what you are trying to access with some other settings. Maybe that is the reason you are getting some problem. So if you want to check, like, go to databases. So if you see here, so I'm going to tell more points in detail, like why this kind of problems coming. So here we have, you can see that there is a name called test. So this is the database we created. Who is the owner for your database? Just check that. So if your owner is someone and you're trying to create that table with some other owner, you may get that problem. But I will take your screen and I will see what is the problem exactly after this class. Okay, I
Okay,
will try
thank
to
you.
understand, I will fix your problem. Yeah, I got your point. So anyone else having any other problems? So everybody able to do that. So I'm expecting whoever attending the classes, everybody should get hands-on practice and face the errors and fix those errors. That is very, very important. That's what actual learning is going to happen. Otherwise, simply I am teaching, just you are listening, that won't help you. So that won't help you to understand what is the issue and where is the issue, why you are getting these issues. So going forward, this is what always self-learning we have to practice, so that there is a lot of assignments also going to practice going forward step by step, so that whenever you get some errors in your projects, real projects, when you are working, so you can able to fix those errors on yourself. So you should not depend on someone, like simple some basic errors also you always ask someone, means that doesn't, that it's not good. Okay, any other so far everybody good here? So I'm expecting everyone able to create your own database and create your own tables, and you can see data into the table.
Hello,
Yeah, hi.
excuse me. Hi, can you hear me, Suresh?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, please tell
Yeah,
me.
I have a doubt that what is account admin and what is sysadmin? And also, if I created one in one worksheet, employee table and all, and inserting, I have done all the things. And again, if
Mhm.
I want to do in another worksheet and with a different
Mhm.
data, so how to
Okay.
create like databases? How to create?
Yeah.
In
So
another worksheet, like I have created and I have done all the changes to one data, and I don't want to disturb that one. If I want to do again new worksheet, and if I do that, it's saying that the same thing what Pramada said, database doesn't exist.
correct.
So
Yeah.
can you please
So
explain
yeah, yeah.
this?
So basically, yes. So that is again, it's kind of a separate topic for us. What kind of errors issues you are facing. So
Okay,
just I'm not disturbing. I'm not diverting the class to other areas. So that's the reason I'm not touching that point. But so here
okay,
we have, whenever you are trying to access something in your Snowflake, everybody
yeah,
having their own roles. Like, so we in the team we have around 10 people. So few people having access to work on some particular area. Like, so they are going to manage again entire account level activities. And some people working as a developers. So you are supposed to work on particular database. So you are going to get access only to that particular database. So in the background, someone should manage all these activities. Like only this particular person should get access only this particular database. So like that. So there is some admins in the background. They are going to manage all these activities. So whenever you are working on as a developer in any project, we are not going to get all these rules. See, if you see, like we have account admin, organization admin, public, security admin, system admin, user admin. There are too many roles are there. So there are too many roles. Along with that, we can see there is some customized roles also we can create. That means, so we are around 15 people or all are working in one project. So we are supposed to work on particular task, particular deliverable. At that time, so these administrators, what they can do, they are going to assign one particular role for us. Let's say these are all people working on XYZ role. So this XYZ holding one particular database. This particular, all the 15 people is working on particular database and particular tables. They are supposed to get access only those particular information. So at that time, admin people in the background, they will create one role and they are assigning to the one particular database to that role. So that in all our 15 members, whenever we log into your Snowflake account, we don't get access to all these roles, whatever roles it is showing here. Only it will show like XYZ. So why? Because we are supposed to access only that XYZ role. So we are going to see only that particular role. So that is the how generally it is going to happen in the real projects. So each and every role having its their own responsibilities. So I will tell you, but for time being, what you can do to avoid these kind of problems, just maintain whenever you are creating, whenever you are taking some new worksheet. See, we can create n number of worksheets. This is worksheet 1. Even you can customize name of the worksheet. So this is worksheet 1. So whenever you keep creating a number of worksheets, you can create, there is no limit for the number of worksheets you can create. So just for practice purpose, we can create. Now, see in the worksheet 1, what is the settings you are using? So by default, you are getting account admin. So there is a name called compute underscore warehouse and the database name and schema name. So these are all the 4 settings we can do for every worksheet. So whenever you are trying to create, so let's say you are working on another worksheet. See, you are trying to create something. You are trying to do some activity in this worksheet. But this worksheet, if you are trying to access with other role, you will get this kind of error. And also you are selecting different database. Let's say you are not selecting any database and you are not selecting any schema. At that time also you are getting some this kind of errors. Just we started practicing and just we are creating some new objects. So better to maintain by default, just check the worksheet settings. Like, see this particular worksheet 1 having what is the settings? This is the administrator and this compute warehouse and test public. So by default here also you can check, we can do same thing for time being. So here just select the database. What is the database? Test and public. Now you try to do the same activity, whatever you are getting errors. So it is going to consider you are working on particular database so that it can take some whatever information you are trying to access, it will take and it will create automatically. So you are getting some errors like the worksheet one having some settings which you already created some database objects, and worksheet 2 also you are trying to do something with the different settings. That's the reason you are getting problem. We are trying to access one object, but that object is we are not able to get it. Why? Because you are accessing with the different path. So for time being, just maintain the worksheets what you are trying to access, just maintain with the same settings like whatever you created, whatever you are trying to do, so that you don't get that problem. So are you able to fix this error, Pramida?
Yeah, yeah, Pramada. Yes, I got it.
Yeah. So now you try with these things and you can able to fix this error. Okay. Yeah. Now
Okay.
here, so basically we are trying to understand Snowflake. Snowflake is just it's kind of another database. So like we can see there are a lot of databases you can hide or you can hear like some lots 15-20 years back. Too many, most of the people having most familiar name like called Oracle. So Oracle is everybody have idea what is Oracle and what it will do. So generally it is having some tables. It is going to create some tables, inserting some tables and selecting some tables. So all these things it will be there. So in the same way, there is no difference at all with any of the traditional databases and Snowflake. But it will do as it is work how the traditional databases do. Like this is the common syntax across any databases. If you are working on Oracle or if you are working on any database, the commands what we are using here is same. But the only difference here, we need to understand, we need to learn more features which is not there in traditional databases. Like there are too many features which we are going to understand step by step. There are too many features which we need to learn day by day. So this is the commands what we are trying, like creating databases, creating tables, inserting data, selecting data. This is all the standard across all the tables. So for interacting with any database, whether you want to interact with the Oracle or you want to interact with the SQL or Teradata or any other databases. So this is the most standard language everybody should understand. So that is called SQL. If you know SQL, you can able to manage your job almost 90%. So this is the common across all the databases. If you are most familiar with the SQL commands and if you are able to understand, if you are able to start writing some SQL commands, so it will be helpful a lot. So that is the reason I'm asking everyone to start going through SQL and start taking some assignments every day, so that it is going to helpful for you to understand how to create objects, how to do some basic activities. And also going forward, what I can do, I'm going to share 5 questions on every day. Very fundamental questions. So 5 questions I will post in group. I will start from 0. So like creating table onwards. So you need to practice on your own and don't need to go for solution. Just try to think and try to answer, practice and get the results. So automatically you are going to get some knowledge on that parallelly. So I'm going to spend just 5 to 10 minutes on that every day, so that you can able to practice SQL parallelly, and we'll try to focus more on our Snowflake learning. This is how we are going to plan every day. So if you don't get solution, try to understand, then only you can able to understand the topic, go through the videos, wherever you are not able to get. So then only you can able to solve. So we have a number of interview questions, a number of interview scenarios, which is going to helpful in SQL. So all those questions I will help you to solve on your own by end of this session. So we have too many 100+ scenarios are there. So first we need, everybody need some fundamentals to start. So that's the reason we'll start with very slow process. After some days, so we'll try to give more advanced scenarios so that you can also get some hands-on, like how we can solve, how we can think, all those things. So until that, so everybody should comfortable, like what it is all about, why we are using, how we are using. Until that, I will go little slow. Okay. So so far, anyone having any questions?
Hello, hi Suresh, this is Chanakeshwar.
Yeah, hi, Keshav.
Yeah, did you train on dummy projects like in real we have banking, insurance and all? Did you train any of those kind of training you will give?
No, that is, I don't do that.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So yeah, we have like, so hope everybody created the databases. Now, basically, we'll try to do some small exercise with Snowflake. See, what is basically data? Snowflake is going to take the data, it is going to store the data. Now, we created some object, we created some database, we inserted data, we selected data. So let's assume we have some huge amount of data which is coming from the sources. Let's say like that data can be anything. So you are working on some database, that means that you should handle any kind of data. The data coming from any places, you are supposed to handle that data. There are too many things. So we can't say like I don't know how to do that. So that is the meaning of data engineering. So any kind of data coming, you are in a position to access that data. Any format of data it is coming, you are in a position to handle that. That is the work we have to do in our projects. So you are getting data in one format, but your business is expecting data in any format. But in between, people like us, we are going to transform the data. We are going to give right data to the business users. That is the expectation of our role. So first, what we can do, we are going to take the data, like simple data is there. Let's say we have some data in our local computer. So that data can be file. So or the data can be different formats we are going to get data. So basically, one of the main advantage of using Snowflake is Snowflake supporting different formats of data. Like what is the formats of data? So you can see like data can be some CSV format. So that means comma separated value. So like this, there is sometimes data is coming in the form of semi-structured data, JSON, and also XML, AV or Avro, market. So most of the people, we never heard about these names. So in the industry, most of the 70% of the developers, most of the time they are working on the standard format that is called structured data format, CSV. So why Snowflake having a lot of demand means it is having the compatibility, it is having capability to handle semi-structured data formats. So that is the reason most of the clients are attracting Snowflake. Snowflake having easy steps to do this process. So that data can be JSON or data can be XML, Avro, Parquet, ORC. So Snowflake supporting 6 different file formats. So the data can come with any kind of format. Snowflake can handle that data, and Snowflake can convert that data to structure format, and it is going to view by the users. So whenever you are trying to access data in the semi-structured format, right? So it's very difficult to see the data. So if we have some SQL language, the data can come like semi-structured format. It's very difficult to view the data. So that is what we have to do, some activities in Snowflake so that we can convert the data to semi-structured format to structured format. Then you can do some select star from on the table. You can able to see the tabular format data. So these are all different formats Snowflake supporting so far. Snowflake is the unique analytical data warehouse which is having the capability to support semi-structured file formats. So as we discussed, we have some competitors with Snowflake. So who are all the competitors with Snowflake? Anyone got some idea? Like, so how Snowflake is different compared with other competitors? So anyone have answer for this question?
Oracle
Okay.
and Informatica.
Okay.
Uh,
Teradata.
Okay. So this Teradata, Oracle, these are all on-premise databases. So on-premise means which you are going to install on your computer. We need some physical hardware required. Then those are all the on-premise databases. So traditional databases. So Oracle, it's not a cloud-based, right? Teradata is also not a cloud-based. So
Azure.
Snowflake is a cloud-based database. So I'm asking like, who are all the competitors with Snowflake?
Azure. AWS.
Yes. What is the specific service in Azure and AWS? So, like if you don't have
Bucket.
Snowflake, what is the alternative option for customers? So we know AWS, Azure, Google Cloud are the big players in the market. Everybody using these services directly or indirectly in their projects. But out of that, what are the service which is going to help equivalent to the Snowflake? This is very important.
I think Redshift is there.
Yes, that is what Redshift. So Redshift is the competitor to the Snowflake. So Redshift is from AWS. So if you want to use cloud data warehouse, so what was the option? Either you can go for AWS Redshift or you can go for Snowflake. Anything is fine. So what are the other options we have? So this is very important question. So these are all the fundamentals everybody should understand on our own. So just Google it and you can get the differences as well as the competitors. So that whenever you are trying to talk something on Snowflake, so whenever you go for interviews or whenever you are talking with someone, they will ask first question, why we were going to use Snowflake? Why can't Redshift? So I have some other options, like why there is some Azure having also it's their own competitor that is called Azure Synapse. And also if you see like Google, that's called Google GCP, Google Cloud. So Google Cloud also having some competitor called BigQuery. Whenever your company migrating your data to Oracle to Snowflake or Teradata to Snowflake or SAP HANA to Snowflake, so these are all the things happening in the market industry. Everywhere these kind of projects are running for Snowflake. So earlier, last 15 years, 20 years, they are using Oracle and they're getting a lot of problems. They're paying a lot of cost for unnecessary usage. So they don't want to continue that technology and they want to move out to that and they want to come with latest one. So that's the reason they are choosing the best option is Snowflake. So all the data, whatever they stored some couple of years back, entire data that they are moving to the Snowflake. That is called migration. So that kind of migration projects are running in the market. So there are some people are already using traditional database SQL server. So they started migrating to the cloud. And Teradata also, they want to migrate their data to cloud. Best option, either Snowflake or you can choose Redshift, Azure Synapse or Google BigQuery. Anyone. Out of these four, anyone they can pick. There is no other option. They should use out of these four anyone. But out of these four, Snowflake having a lot of demand and Snowflake playing differently. That's the reason most of the customers are attracting to the Snowflake. So these are all the general questions. Like I can see whenever you go for interview, not only for whenever you are discussing with someone. So these are all the points we should get clarity. So that's the reason I'm highlighting these points again. Whenever you start reading something, whenever you are Google it, so try to understand at least competitors as well as how it is different compared to others. So at least we should know some points like we already discussed last time. See, these are all the solution highlights. Like even I can see in the interviews, without this question, there is no interview going further. So why? Because if someone working on this technology, so interviewer expecting like how it is different, why you want to use Snowflake. So they're getting the quality answer for this question. That's the reason I'm highlighting again and again this point. So we have some very nice points like as we discussed just now. So we are going to discuss more points and to understand more better about Snowflake. So we are working on different features so that we can get clear idea about how it is different from others. But keep in mind, keep adding answer more points to your answer for this question. So everybody should get idea about this question. At least we have at least 4 or 5 points in our mind. Yeah, this is what it is. This is how the different compared to other competitors. The architecture point of view, the way it is accessing the data, the way it is charging. These are all the different things we need to understand more with more clarity. Okay, so just now we discussed about the file formats. So Snowflake supporting the file formats like we have, if you just click on the database, so click on the test. So here we have like view, schema, stages, file formats. So if you see, just click on the create. So in the drop down, you can see like CSV, JSON, XML, Avro, ORC, Parquet. See, these are all the different file formats most of the business people using. Most of the data getting generated in their business supporting all these file formats. That's the reason Snowflake offering to use all these file formats directly whenever you're trying to store your data in the Snowflake. Yeah, we'll discuss like some semi-structured format file formats as well. So for time being, why we are using, how we are using all those points, just we are trying to understand in high level. Okay, now we have data, like we are able to get data from your local computer. That data can be any of these file formats. So you are in a position to store, you are in a position to load that data into the Snowflake table. So that is the first simple exercise everybody should get idea. So what is the requirement? So first requirement, like what we are going to do. So we have data in local computer. Simple file, that can be, that file is having 10 records or 100 records or whatever data. So we don't worry about the size of the data. We have data in your local computer. So mostly that can be structured data. So just you want to load this data into Snowflake table. So this is the first requirement, first exercise everybody should aware of. So why I need to do this? Because, so just assume one scenario. You are working for one small company. So they are getting some data every day, some 10,000 records in their business. So that they are getting some data and they are storing that data in the file. What they will do, daily they will send mail to you. See, today in our business, this is the data got generated. Can you just load this data into Snowflake table? This is the simple requirement they will ask. So what we can do, so whenever they will send the mail, you can download that data file into your local computer. Then how that data file is, you can convert to the Snowflake table, and how you can bring that data into the Snowflake. So we should aware of these things, right? So we know, like, just we created the table and we are able to insert the data manually and we are able to select this. This is the manual operation. But there is some data which is already generated, but you want to dump the data into Snowflake. So how? Anyone have idea on this?
Yeah, for that we have to make it file format. First we need to create the file format. Which file format we need to load into the Snowflake. For that we have to make it in Snowflake. And
Okay.
then we have to using that file format, you can fetch the data from local disk to your table, Snowflake table.
Okay. So what I can do, I'm going to upload the sample data and everything on our drive, so that we can also access the sample test data. So just you can ping me your mail IDs to my WhatsApp number so that I can add all your IDs to that drive. So you can able to get all the test data, you can able to practice. Okay, now for simple exercise, what we can do. So this is the requirement 1. I will show you some sample data, how the data looks like. So this is the data which is available in your local computer. See, all the data which is having the comma separated values. That means CSV, full form is comma separate value. So this is one column, this second column is blank, and third column is blank, fourth column is blank, and there is some date is coming, fifth column is confirmed. So we have some set of data which got generated here. Now, so here we have like all this data which is generated. You want to dump this data as it is into the Snowflake table. This is the exercise everybody need to do. So now we need to convert all this data as an insert. How we are doing it after creating the table, we need to insert data, right? In the same way, we are going to insert the data into the table. So that is going to be accessed. So here we have some 100 records or 1000 records and 10,000 records, whatever data. We don't bother about size of the records. Just simply you want to dump this data into Snowflake table. That is what we have to do. So this is the file format. Which file format we can choose for this data? This is the comma separate value file format. So this is comma separate value file format that is going to be used. So that particular file format is going to be how to access. So how to do this process, how we can see all the data in the Snowflake table. This is the first exercise everybody should do. So you got the requirement. So before loading this data into Snowflake table, what we need? So what we need?
We need to create the file format of that file.
Yeah, we need to create the file format before that. So we can load directly this data into Snowflake. Any other information required before loading this data?
Snowflake table.
Yes. First thing is we need to create table. So creating table is very, very important. Why? Because where we can load this data, we need some definition of the table, right? Like what is the table we created? So here we created table, one employee table. See, create table student, 2 columns, ID and name. So after that, we loaded data into the table. The same way, whatever data we are trying to load, we need some table. So first we need the definition of the table. After that, we need to tell Snowflake like which kind of data you are sending, whether it is a CSV data or it is a whatever format of data, and you can able to dump the data into the table so that it is going to take all the steps and it is going to process data into that particular table, whatever new table you created. This is the way you can develop, you can able to load, right? So for that, we need some table definition also. So I'm going to provide table definition as well here. So here we can call it as a DDLs, data definition language. So whenever you are talking about table definition, these are all the different table definitions we have. So we are going to dump the data into one of the table we are already having here. I will share this sheet as well so that you can create the tables. You'll get some idea how to create the tables. So that table name is called JHU COVID-19. This is the table definition you can create. So just you can copy this and you can paste so that it's automatically, it will get created in your Snowflake account. Okay, for this, to do this exercise, first what we can do, step 1, create new database. It's not mandatory, just we are practicing purpose. We are creating database with name COVID-19. So, and then step 2, create table from DDL sheet. Step 3, download file to local and start uploading into table. Now 4, check data and identify file format. What kind of data it is coming? Step 5, step 5, load data into Snowflake table. Check data. Hit select. So these are all the steps we need to do, right? So anything not clear in our requirement, just I'm trying to help you like how to understand the basic use case and how to start using Snowflake. That's the reason. Just I'm going to load with simple use case, and we need to do this exercise. This is our first basic requirement everybody should aware of whenever we start using Snowflake. So any confusion, anything not clear about the requirement, what is the requirement and how to do this process? Okay.
Yeah. Thing is like we need to create the column names as for the incoming data, or they will provide the column names also.
Yeah, they will provide. That is what I am giving. So this is the sheet I am giving. So everything is available here. So this definition I'm giving, you can just copy paste in your account. See, just this particular definition, you just run this. So automatically table got created.
Time they will give the table only, right? They will not provide the column names.
Everything is there. Table name and column names, everything they will provide. We are not going to do anything.
Okay. Okay.
So it's not
I'm thinking like based on the data only, we have to assume that we have to create the column names.
No.
Okay.
It's not our job.
Okay.
So there is some separate team like data architects and business team. They are going to define which columns should go into which table. These are all things. Everything is available. Just we should know how to use and how to do the process. That is the only thing we have to do as a developer. Okay. Now I will provide all the data and everything is going to be available. So I will share the drive details and I will upload all the recordings and everything in your drive so that you can access the data, you can access all the recordings and you can practice accordingly. So by just ping all your email IDs so that I can by tomorrow, my next session, you can see all the data as well as recording sessions in that particular drive. So whoever shared their email IDs, I will give the access and you can start using this. But this exercise, just keep it in mind and you can think about this exercise, how to do this. Go to Google, go to YouTube and try to understand on your own. So try to solve on your own so that you can get some learning mindset like, so how to do this, what exactly it is happening, so start thinking like that. So then you can get the solution. Anyway, I'm going to discuss solution in next class. That is the one thing. So that is one thing what we are going to do in next class. And another thing is for practicing SQL. So we created some simple table you also need to create simple table in your database. So here we have, I already explained in the recording. So go to here, create one dedicated database and see there is some table definitions like create table. So just remove these constraints. There is some constraint here, right? Just remove and copy paste and run these commands so that you can get all the employee table and department table and run all these commands in your Snowflake account for the practice purpose. So try to run this and practice all these things. So that at least you'll get the simple hands-on, like how to create the tables, how to insert the data, how to select data. All these things you have to complete in your next session. So any questions, any challenges, any errors you are facing, ping me immediately. I will respond to your question. So you should not wait for next session. Like I have, so always try to fix errors on your own and ping me immediately. I will help you where you are getting error. Don't stop there itself. Try to complete all your exercises on the same day. So what everybody should do, you need to, I'm going to share this link in chart window. Just you can use this link and create employee table and department table. So just copy this URL from the chart window. Create this employee table and department table. I'm telling, remove this constraint, remove this line, whatever I highlighted, and create the table. Like that, you create the tables and insert the data. So you can able to, at least you can get some errors. Try to fix those errors. If you are not able to fix, ping me. I will respond to your errors. That is the one thing. And second exercise, what we are talking about here is, we are going to take the simple data from your local and we are going to upload, we are going to load the data into Snowflake. And how to do, what are the different ways Snowflake doing this exercise and how to do that. Try to Google it and try to get some information. We are going to complete this exercise by tomorrow and get on your own. Try to how to do this. Just take some steps from Google also. You'll get some idea. So based on that, we'll try to complete in tomorrow's session. We'll get more clarity. Okay, so that's all about today. And also I'm giving these steps as well for here, but I'm going to create one WhatsApp group as well, all the participants who are all confirmed, so that all the information whatever we are trying to discuss, everything we are going to share there. So so that it's easy for you to get all the information at one place. You should not miss any single points. So hope it's clear, right, what we need to do by next class, so that we can also get some idea what we are doing. Everybody get like why Snowflake, who are all the competitors, how Snowflake is different. And next thing is, what are the different ways to load data into Snowflake and creating the tables and see the errors. All these are all the things everybody should complete. Let's see if any challenges anyone having, we'll discuss it next session. Okay, I'm stopping now. So anyone having any questions? So you want
No,
to,
it is
yeah, Pramoda, you want to share your screen and you are able to fix your errors.
Yeah, I'll try on my own. If it is not working, I'll share to you.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks everyone. See you tomorrow. Same time. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir.